Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name's ChiefDog74 and let's get into this one. Alright, well, let's take a seat first. Let's breathe in and out. Alright, where have I been? I have been decorating because the acute ear might hear that I'm in a different room. I guess it's sort of an emptier room. It sort of is, sort of isn't. But yeah, I'm in a different room, so that is why it took so long, because we're decorating, changing the carpet, changing the wall colour, changing the curtains, the furniture, all of that lovely stuff to do. And also I was working a lot in August. Towards the end of August I was working a lot, and then I'm going to be working quite a bit on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've got a really long day on those days. Sorry for the voice crack, but yeah, you'll probably see only videos Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the only times I'm really going to be able to do a video now. For 2 years maybe, I don't know, might change. But anyway, enough about why I haven't been here in a while. You guys probably did expect me to do a career mode video, and don't worry, I'm not giving up on career mode for F1 2021, but well, we'll get into that because this is going to be more of a discussion video. In fact, perhaps some of you guys also thought that I was going to do another episode in this series, but I did try and do one the other day, yesterday in fact, but you basically couldn't hear me, and the same thing might happen in this video. I have tried a fair amount of things in game and with mic volume and whatnot, because mine's attached to the headphones. I don't have a separate one. So if you can't hear me so well in some areas, then that is why. But yeah, we're going to do free drive, and you are going to see that I've got the RX SDI, which is a very nice car. Already made a wrap for it. It's basically the same, but I just added a blacked out hood. So in fact, you know what, I might as well add a little 74 on the back of the window as well, because why not. So this customization system was added in a later update, but that was like 7 months ago or something. So let me just change the colour of it as well. I don't know, just generic white. We'll have a let's go for a oh Jesus, let's go with my second favourite colour of purple. Yeah, we'll do that purple. Well, it keeps doing this thing where you select your colour and then you press a bit and then it keeps going. They definitely didn't have that in Heat, but oh well. Just glad that they added a a decal changer, because if you guys ever played the original, then you would know that this was not a thing. You just had to use the selected colours. Usually they were just block colours, and they wouldn't really have any decals or whatever on them. But if you had like a stripe down the middle or something like that. So we're gonna save and then just overwrite save one, and we'll go to the track. So yeah, this video is just gonna be me talking about stuff in general with the channel, F1, Elite Dangerous, future maybe might become a topic, but yeah, here we are in with in with the RX STI, the this nice car. This is actually my dream car. I know it's a bit irregular, probably not the Subaru that most people would have as a dream car, but yeah, this is my one. So if I ever got this in real life, I'd be very happy indeed. But unfortunately, probably by the time that I'd have enough, we'd already have electric cars. So you know, that's lovely. Let's pretend we're filling up the car, whatever. But yeah, quick side note, most people don't actually very much so enjoy this game, and that's mostly because it's very different to others. But this is like one of my most favourites in the series because it was the one which introduced me to Need for Speed. This was the first ever Need for Speed I played. And it was a good one. I know it's very different because I've now played 2015 Need for Speed, Payback and Heat. Unfortunately I never did play Most Wanted, which apparently is legendary or whatever. But yeah, this one introduced me to the series, so of course it's gonna have a bit of a special place in my heart. But again, not many people like it, so you know, it's understandable. It's very different now that I know what the others are like. You don't get to ever play as to police. Police are always your enemy in Need for Speed, but in this game, sometimes it's the races which are your enemy, which I know maybe some people weren't too happy about that, whatever. I was certainly fine with it though. So yeah, we're just going to take a drive here. But of course, oh actually I wanted to do something first. I wanted to set a timer so we had equal lengths. We're going to do 15 minutes in this car, and then in the street side, and then we'll switch to the cops for the other 15. So I'm just going to set an echo timer. Alright, thanks for the added information there, Echo. Yeah, let's start off with F1 then. So what have we got? So I'll talk about my virtual one. Obviously people probably thought that they were going to be seeing a video on it, but my wheel isn't up here, it is downstairs, not in my bedroom, basically, in my room, whatever. And this bedroom still needs work, like painting and curtain changing, as I listed before, so that will not be here until expected. This room will be finished at the sometime early October. Yeah, that's very far. It means another month basically where I don't get to play F1 2021, which is as gutting as it is for me as it might be for some of you guys. Obviously some people probably won't care, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So yeah, I wanted to do a video. I haven't given up on it, don't worry. It's just I can't because I don't have the wheel, and you know I could do it on the controller, but career mode works both ways, as well as just any content creating really. It's got to be enjoyable for me and then enjoyable for you guys as well. And I think I won't get the same experience on the controller as I do with the wheel. That's kind of why I wanted the wheel, and why I have one now. Yeah, that's a nice crash. But yeah, it's not the same, and you know I want to have a good experience for me and then a good experience for you guys as well. So that's why you won't be seeing a career mode video. I've also came to realise that you guys really liked the pit stop challenge that I did for last year's game, where I did it for the normal F1 cars, the classical cars, and I did it for the F2 version when they released. I'm connected to the internet, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I haven't been on oh no, what was I saying? I was talking about F1 2021, and oh yeah, the pit stop challenge, yeah, that's it. So yeah, you guys seem to really like it. It's one of my most viewed videos. I think it has like 200 views, which is crazy for a channel with like 37 subscribers, I think I have. Obviously 200's nothing compared to the damage we caused after that crash, Jesus. But yeah, it's nothing compared to the millions upon millions of views that some content creators do get. But for me, you know, 200 people is still quite a lot. Obviously it's not a lot when you look at the fact that there's a population of 7 billion people, but it is big enough to be, you know, noticeable. It could fill up, it definitely fill up my entire house. It would probably fill up a hall if everyone, just think about everyone watching at the same time, all in one projector. You have 200 whatever people all in the same room. I mean, that would be crazy watching my video. So yeah, just a thought. That's a cool bridge they're building, but they've been spending 10 years building that bridge and they still haven't finished, those builders. Yeah, no, so that's why I won't go to the career mode for a bit, and I am going to do a pit stop challenge. Unfortunately, they did get rid of the classical cars, whether they'll add them back up later or something in the game cycle. I don't know why they got rid of them. Again, I didn't use them massively, but you know, part of the experience. Why would you get rid of something that you didn't need to get rid of? You know, it's fine. It was perfect. You know, you get to drive around in the Hamilton's 2008 McLaren, or I don't know, Michael Schumacher's Ferrari, or Alonso's Renault. You know, all these nice classical cars, but I don't understand why they've been essentially just destroyed, gotten rid of the game. So I obviously can't do a pit stop challenge for that one, but I can still do it for F1, the regular one, and I can do it for F2 when they release the 2021 lineup, the grid, because they release that later. They have previous year's one, and then they have this year's one added later. Not sure why it's like that, but you know, it's sure. And also my absence obviously means that I didn't get to completely pass, so I did miss out on the Rainbow Halo. I'm very sorry, but it was just very bad timing of me buying the game and having to decorate it. So well, that was a brilliant skid there. But yeah, so that's the virtual F1 out of the way. Real life F1, we've got some big driver transfers. Alfa Romeo saying goodbye to Kimi, and then Bottas moving over. I think it was a good move. It's about time that Russell definitely deserved the seat. He's shown outstanding performance in what is arguably one of the worst cars on the entire grid. So you know that it's not easy being a Williams driver and aiming for points and then getting. I mean, he had a podium. Whether he'd have kept that podium if the race still went on is another question. But nonetheless, he still did technically get a podium. So P2 at that, and his qualifying time at that track was sensational in the wet. Clearly, perhaps a bit of a master at the wet is George. He could do a little bit of help with his race pace, but you know, he'll be having the fastest car next year. He'll be having much more improved facilities. Not that Williams have horrendous ones, but obviously Mercedes have that more cash, so they'll be able to have better sims and have better coaches and stuff with more experience perhaps than Williams. And a lot of money's going to be invested into George as well. So yeah, I'm happy for his change. And since George is off to Mercedes now, that's left the door wide open for Alex Albon to take the seat, which I'm alright with. He's an alright driver. I don't think perhaps Red Bull was his style, but it seems like loads of people can't get to grips with the Red Bull car. Maybe it's because it's just extremely geared towards Verstappen, or it's just, you know, a terrible car. It's not terrible obviously, but you know, it's perhaps extremely different compared to any other car on the grid. Of course, has a different power unit, has probably different aerodynamics in the floor, and lots of different stuff, I'd say, which perhaps has aided Max Verstappen more than other drivers. But I mean, Perez seems to be doing a fine job in the Red Bull. So yeah, that's F1 for you. If you haven't already watched this race though, then I would suggest that you skip. I'll put a timestamp on screen to when I stop finishing, or stop talking about this race that just went on, the Italian Grand Prix. We've had your warning now, so there is spoilers ahead on who wins the race and stuff. And yeah, well, Daniel Ricciardo is the winner. Lando in P2. Bottas had a brilliant race, cutting through the field, almost to the Sergio Perez. Perhaps if he did actually overtake Sergio Perez, he might have actually got onto them, but Sergio was a solid wall, making sure that Bottas couldn't get through. Or perhaps Bottas's tyres dropped off at the end too. That could have been something that happened, because of course he did push quite a bit, so that's understandable if his tyres did perhaps start to you know, degrade, whatever, slow him down basically. Yeah, so extremely good for McLaren. First 1-2 since 2010, and yeah, you know, the Hamilton and Verstappen rivalry is quite something. I haven't ever really seen such a titanic battle, because I've been in my parents watched it a bit as when I was a kid. I wasn't extremely interested. In fact, I was the complete opposite. I didn't really like F1 at the time. Now I'm extremely invested in it. Kind of wish I did watch when you know, Hamilton was making his way through to become a champion. Jenson Button was around in Born GP as well. That was a brilliant team. Well, I say brilliant team, you know, they kind of found an exploit and were told to get rid of it, but by then they were already too far ahead. So yeah, that was controversial to say the least, but yeah. Anyway, the takeout though, I mean, I'd lean a bit more to say it was Max's fault then. It was still racing instant though, I think. Perhaps. Oh, there's our time. Alexa, stop. Right, so there's our time in the street racing. Don't worry, I'll continue on the topic, but we'll just switch over to the cops side of things. Alright then, here we are. This was actually perfect. I mean, we've literally spawned right on the same side. So I'm gonna set a timer again. Right, here we go then. So yeah, back to the conversation. Oh, well, I mean, I'll say which car I'm in. I'm in the Audi TT RS Police Edition in Highway Patrol, I think is what this area is called. So very a lot speedier than perhaps the Subaru, but you know, I still like this the Subaru, and we have a bit of a German engineering this time rather than the Japanese of Subaru. But yeah, in terms of the crash, you know, on one side, you could say that it was. I mean, actually, let me do a demonstration here in the Audi. Let me just pick up a bit of speed, and then I think this corner might be suitable. Or no, there's a chicane-like area. Yeah, up here. Here we go. Right. So let's pretend that this is a pit straight. So here comes Hamilton coming out of the pits. Actually, no, it's probably best if we did it the other way. Let me quickly just change them. Right, here we go. So, let's just pretend that I'm Lewis Hamilton, and I'm coming out of the pits after a bit of a slow stop. And so we come across here. Or do we? No, because we're on the inside, so technically we'd be here. Okay, so we're coming out of the pit lane on this side. We squeeze Max to this side for this for the first turn, and then we think Max is clear. We get to the second apex, and then spin. We're out of the session. So if we analyse that, Max is given a good squeeze to the wall right here. This wall will pretend is where the green rumble which you had to go over, so make sure you didn't go off track. But you know, that's kind of there for a reason. You know, there's a reason why that's there. It's so that, you know, Lewis squeezed him, but he didn't squeeze him completely off track, perhaps as some other people were saying. He just squeezed him and gave him just a car's width. Even though he did have to go on the green curb, he still had the car's width, you know. So I think that's fine. Thank you for the Gran Nissan truck. And then I reckon he thought he was clear. He'd made the move, so he didn't perhaps leave as much room, and that caused him to spin out. Well, kind of be launched in anything. If we then look at Verstappen's viewpoint, so we got Hamilton alongside us. Hamilton squeezes us to the outside, but we still have enough room. And then as we go into this corner, we go over this sausage curb and go over Hamilton's car. Now, the thing that's different about this crash is, you know, he gets squeezed here, but it was a fair squeeze. Hamilton perhaps thought he was out of the way, but over here there is a runoff area which drivers can take so they can avoid being hit and crashing others out. Verstappen didn't take this though. He could have, perhaps. In hindsight, perhaps he would have, but he didn't. He kept going, and then that caused him to go straight over Lewis's car. So yeah, I think it's a bit of both drivers' fault, but Max could have done what Lewis did on the first lap and just, you know, move over a bit and, you know, let Lewis have the lead, but get him back later. I mean, you know, it's sort of a very simple idea, but yeah, Max has always came across as a very aggressive driver. He's not really going to give up your line. He kind of sort of hopes that you also are going to just, you know, leave some space for him, which every driver needs to leave space. That guy needed to leave a bit of space for me. Come on, man, I've got my lights on here. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's sort of it's both drivers. If Lewis didn't squeeze Max, then Max, he could have, you know, perhaps maybe even left a bit more space for Max on turn 2. Then yeah, perhaps he could have got through unscathed, but at the same time Max could have gone over the rumble strip. There were quite a few drivers which went over the rumble strip, but Max's aggressive nature perhaps just took over and said, you know, we'll keep to this. But yeah, I'm going to stop spoiling the race now. Welcome back everyone else. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's talk about Elite Dangerous then. I kind of wished that by now we'd have Odyssey for console, but as you might have gathered, that's not the case since they have delayed it, and it probably won't be around till, well, people reckon probably March, February, ouch, that was a bit stupid of me, which is a bit annoying, understandable, because Odyssey released terribly for PC. It was apparently extremely awful. There wasn't there wasn't exactly a lot to do. There was a lot of bugs, lots of glitches. There was a lot of exploits, and just in general, just not very good. It wasn't very good to play, basically, and people made that known to Frontier, and Frontier have been trying to fix it. And originally, Frontier did want the console version to be released in probably around this time, maybe October. But that's not obviously going to be the case, since they now need to fix the PC version, and once the PC version is fixed, integrate that into the console version before we can then have that going for us. So, you know, there's one part of me which is like, oh, I wish that I had Odyssey, I could make Elite Dangerous content on it, you know, taking my first steps, doing conflict zones, showing off a bit of my FPS, first person shooter skill, and, you know, finding new worlds, going on massive trips and stuff. But, you know, that's that's not possible right now, and it won't be until 2022 most likely. So that is slightly annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. And you know, if a game releases in a bad state, that's just how it is. Can't change it in any way. You kind of just have to, you know, get on with it. So that's what I'm going to do, get on with it. Might make some Elite Dangerous videos. I don't know yet though. The thing about Elite Dangerous though is, you know, it's alright at the moment, but of course Odyssey will give me a lot better content. And also I do have an apology to make quickly about the video. The money making one, like a week or something, probably even less than that, Frontier patched the semi-exploit. You still have to do a lot of work, you have to travel places, but yeah, they seem to have fixed that now, so that money making method is old. As for right now, in terms of money making methods, there isn't really one. You can kind of do whatever you like and be perfectly fine with it, so you know, that might be what some of you guys decide to do. On more exciting news though, Gran Turismo 7 has been announced, and it's coming out March 22nd, so that could be something extremely good for this channel to sink its teeth in, and I'll definitely be covering it, playing it, probably maybe from launch, probably not early access, whatever, beta, you know, but from launch, as soon as it comes out March 4th, I probably will buy it, because there seems to be a lot of good stuff that they've included into this game, and you know, more good stuff equals a better game, and a better game is better for everyone, so I'm definitely excited to play it when it comes out. There's a lot more customization, always nice to see, a lot better graphics as well. Whether I'll be able to show them graphics to the fullest, probably not, because I probably won't have a PS5 as my recording console, probably for another couple of years maybe, but you know, the PS4 Pro is still alright, it's still 1080p, I can definitely still play a game that's at 1080p. Hopefully you guys are alright with watching a game that's 1080p. Most people should be alright, but obviously there's some people which strive for the best graphics and all this. In my opinion, as long as it's 1080p and I can see what I'm doing, see what I'm driving, shooting, whatever, then I'm happy. I'm alright, I don't care too much about fancy graphics. That's why at the start of a game I don't instantly go to settings, try and make all the graphics the best and test this and this and this. I honestly couldn't care less about graphics. If you want to have a perfect looking game, have a perfect looking game. But all I need is something that I can see and then do whatever activity is. So I'm happy in that respect. But yeah, Gran Turismo coming out March 4th, 2022. And then we have the next Need for Speed as well, where of course that will be in 2022, in November-ish time probably. Bit of an annoyance that they did delay it. Should have been this year, November, but no, they decided that Battlefield 6 was more important. Yeah, not my style. Well, for FPSs I don't like big open ones, I prefer 6v6 ones. And Battlefield is about as far away as from 6v6 as you can get, so that's nice, but yeah, there's obviously a bigger crowd for Battlefield than there is Need for Speed, which I mean, that's probably always going to be the same, because there's just not as many people which enjoy cars as they do playing in World Wars and battles and whatnot. So, but you know, I'm fine with it. What I'm not fine with though is Need for Speed Heat getting no more updates. You know, if you are going to delay a game, then at least add a bit to your actual game that you've got at the moment. I mean, I've played Need for Speed Heat. Once you 100% it, there's nothing really much else to do. Even like a ranked playlist like they did in Payback would have been fine. I would have played that quite a fair amount. I always enjoyed that. Don't understand why they got rid of it, but yeah. Anyway, Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Right, there we go. There we have it then. That is the 15 minutes up in the police. I basically covered everything else. I don't think I can think of anything else, really. So we're just gonna park it up here. Yeah, I'll do my outro. So, if you guys did enjoy, then be sure to hit the like button. That can be hitting the like button because you like this game, you want to see more background content on it, or if you enjoy this kind of video where I just, you know, talk about F1, talk about Elite Dangerous, talk about the channel, future games I'm excited for, then yeah, I'm happy to do those. And comment on anything you did enjoy below. Subscribe if you like all my content. And don't worry, there will be F1 2021 content coming soon. I haven't forgot about the game, I just can't play it very well at the moment. But yeah, hopefully this was a good return to YouTube. Till then, this has been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys next time.